Now, there is no doubt about it that those out there like Sunny Hostin, Whoopi Goldberg, and Joy Behar are in a constant phase of panic right now based on the ratings with The View and all of ABC, by the way, all of their programs, whether it's The View, Good Morning America, Jimmy Kimmel Live, it has the ABC executives, it has the Walt Disney Company executives spinning in panic because they can't control the ratings disaster right now for valid and obvious reasons. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, Joy Behar, and I've talked about this many times, I think that she is by far one of the worst talk show hosts on live television, right up there with Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, and many others. But Joy Behar really is on a different level. Now, when you look at Joy Behar in isolation, we know that in recent months she's been trying to expand her career, much like Whoopi Goldberg has. They have been trying to go back to their comedic roots, and that's not been working well because studio by studio is beginning to drop them and refusing to hire them to take on various projects. We all know what happened between Whoopi Goldberg and HBO, as well as Joy Behar. However, what's interesting about this has a lot more to do with Joy Behar's view of Sylvester Stallone. And a lot of actors, a lot of actresses, and even talk show hosts out there, those in the media, are beginning to actually display a negative opinion towards Sylvester Stallone ever since he came forward with his political opinion. And just because he has a different political opinion, that's to the point where they begin to get deeply offended. It just goes to show you the contrast between those like Joy Behar and those like Sylvester Stallone. But let's get into this, shall we? Now, with the entire film industry and the media now in a phase of panic, multiple studios are either beginning to double down on their agenda or are beginning to back away from their agenda that has backfired completely. Now, one monumental development going on now involves more to do with Joy Behar and what she had to recently say about Sylvester Stallone and his opinion. Behar delivered the following: "We are dealing with too much division in this country that was started by the other side, and it doesn't help anybody for people like Sylvester Stallone to come out and state who he supports, and like Whoopi, I refuse to say his name. I just refuse to say his name right now because I'm just so frightened for our country and where it's heading for the next 4 years. And now you have these A-listers like Stallone who support this garbage and this insanity. It's absolutely offensive and terrible behavior to come out like that so confidently, as if you don't care that this would create an even larger divide for your fans. If I had one bit of advice to Mr. Stallone, it would be to keep his mouth closed from this point on about who he supports, because we don't need actors like Stallone to go around using their following to create bigger issues at hand. This industry has too much sexism and misogyny, and now that is somehow, some way, being normalized in this country by and influenced by those like Stallone. It's just so sad and disheartening to see, because I'm a fan of Stallone, but not so much anymore, I think. Like Mr. Kimmel said, I think those boxing rounds he received in the Rocky films really contributed to real life, since he has no idea what he is thinking and what he is doing right now. We need more icons like Mr. Kimmel and those that have a voice to defend us, because we need all the voices that we can get right now. Stallone really needs to think twice about his endorsement. We didn't really see this coming, not me, not Whoopi or Sunny. None of us would ever think that Stallone would ever support such a terrible person, and again, I refuse to mention his name. I think I need to take a break from mentioning his name right now, just to get my head straight, you know? So guys, let me just stop here for 1 second about what Whoopi, or should I say Joy Behar, is spewing in a similar pattern to Whoopi Goldberg. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, both Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, they spew the same nonsense in a very near similar fashion. So now she's turning on Stallone as well. It seems like a lot of people are beginning to turn on Stallone because he really did share his political opinion outright, and it went viral around the entire globe. And sure, people are going to have differing opinions. That's fine and all. But you have to be civil when it comes to having different opinions. You can't be like, I'm shutting you out completely just because. Well, that's how Joy Behar, that's how Whoopi Goldberg act, and that's how a lot of these, you know, so-called talk show hosts act, like Jimmy Kimmel, for example. We all saw how he cried on stage, on television. It was so embarrassing to see, yet so entertaining, I must add. But what's interesting about Behar is that she is going on and on about how sexism and misogyny is now being normalized in this country. All of this, craziness that they speak, either on The View or through various interviews or to the media, it's not helping anybody. In fact, it's only making their case worse, and it's only, digging their hole bigger. They really can't seem to get out of this hole that they have dug for the past several years, for the past 8 to 9 years, right? But what's interesting about this, yet again, is that I think a lot of this also has to do with the ABC ratings. Now, we know that there's going to be a lot of cost cutbacks by the Walt Disney Company that's going to spill down to ABC. This goes for Good Morning America, this goes for Kelly and Mark, this goes for Jimmy Kimmel Live, The View, and among other ABC programs. There's going to be a lot of cost cutbacks, there's going to be some firings, there's going to be some pay raises that are going to be cancelled outright, some of which already have been cancelled for Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. We'll talk more about that down the road. However, she goes on to conclude, but Mr. Stallone, I think, just sabotaged his career. I don't see a future for him in film. So now he has to resort to television as a mob boss. And hey, if that's your thing, so be it, but it's totally a step down from Stallone's potential. This country is in jeopardy right now, and we are about to lose our freedom down the road, and you have some of these outdated actors, like Stallone, James Woods, and Mel Gibson, going on and on about who they support, and it's ridiculous, It's just absolutely ridiculous that we are witnessing some of those that we looked up to so very much are leaving our beliefs and what we stand for and for what is right in this country. But yeah, there's another thing that's been bothering me for the past 2.5 weeks. We need to just stick together in all of this and gather a larger voice. So, look, it sounds like that Joy Behar is trying to kind of create some kind of resistance, or kind of trying to create a bigger voice and to make that voice even louder. And I think at the end of the day, what it boils down to is that, yeah, like she said, they didn't expect Stallone to come out with his political opinion that resonated with so many people around the globe, and specifically in this country. But even more so, I think that you must be crazy to have missed that. I think that they should have saw that coming through Stallone. Now, what's interesting about Stallone right now is that he is by far one of the most talented actors right now. He is working on several projects simultaneously. He's working on Tulsa King, several seasons that are actually already planned out for the next couple of years. He's working on The Family Stallone. He wants to get more embedded in the reality TV field, and he also wants to expand to other ideas that he has yet to actually announce just yet. We'll learn more about that, by the way, in the coming months. But I would like to hear what everyone has to say about Joy Behar, because I think her days are numbered on The View. As long as the ratings begin to dip further and further, week by week, you're going to see change, in 2025, at some point in time. There's no doubt about that. But overall, let me know what you guys have to say about that below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.